Hi, everyone. Welcome. Oh, we just had a very stressful 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to bring up a special guest in 2 seconds. I just want to say welcome to everyone to this stream. I know we've been getting a lot of viewers after it's been posted. We've had hundreds of people watching our videos, and I thank you all very much for that. If you are new to this channel, go back and watch at least episode 1 or 2 to get an overall feel for what we're talking about. We are talking about Twin Flames Universe, the alleged cult that sucked a family member into its existence, into its orbit for the past 7 years, and how we got her out. So we are focused on that right now. Eventually it'll evolve into other things, but without further ado, I have a really special person to bring on stage. It is my sister. You know her as Boston Booty, but I call her Pizza. Hi, Pizza. Welcome.
64 years old, and she's still calling me Lisa Pizza.
Right off the bat, you dox yourself with how old you are. Right off the bat.
Well, before Cheryl tells you she's the youngest, I'll steal her thunder and just put it out there. Cheryl is the younger sister.
Okay, so let's thank Scotty, Lisa's husband. Oh, here's another sister coming up. Hey, sister from Connecticut, which again, I'm sorry for the dox. So Lisa and I were saying hi to each other, and she was really cutting in and out 30 seconds before we went live. And her husband, the tech wizard, connected her up on Ethernet directly. So thank you, Scotty. Shout out to Scotty. I appreciate you coming on. So Lisa and I are both in cybersecurity. I was thinking about it. We both work for the same company. This is the third time in our lives that we've worked for the same company, which I think is really funny. But hey, we're stars. What can we say? And what we talk about here is our family. I tell you all the time, we're a very close-knit family. I look forward to hearing Lisa's perspective of what the hell we got into 7 years ago. So I'm just, first of all, going to kick it over to you and let you say hi and say anything you want to say, and then you can just start talking.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you having me on. I do want to state that these are my interpretations of the events that took place the past 7 years, and my opinions only. I don't want anyone coming at me. Yeah, we're a very close-knit family. I mean, we annoy the hell out of our husbands because we're always talking. We're always, as they say, cackling, not even laughing. We cackle. We do vacations together. Cheryl's gone over this before, but just a very, very strong, close-knit family. And my niece is, I want to paint the picture of her first off, because I think that we're all, at least when I think of cults, I think of vulnerable people that don't have a lot of friends, that don't have a good social network, and maybe are kind of loners. And the opposite applies to Briana, my niece. And so she's vivacious, she's gorgeous. Of course, I'm biased, but she really is. She has a smile that when she walks in the room, not only does it light up, she has this dimple that is just incredible. And so, honors, when music is her passion. It's what I call her superpower. She would drive us crazy. She'd walk into our house and it was, "Hey, Briana, how you doing?" And she would be singing. It's like, oh my Lord, will you turn it off? Like, she sang all the time. She composed. She wrote songs. She took piano lessons. She self-taught herself the guitar. And the reason why I'm painting this picture is, for you to get to know her and not think that she's of a certain type, because I think that's part of why we were blindsided as well. So we would go to, when she went to college, I'll never forget, she had this incredible concert that she conducted. She actually conducted this concert at her college. It was phenomenal. And so graduated college, honors, went on teaching, as Cheryl has said, Thailand to teach English for a year. And then what freaks me out about this whole thing when I reflect back is like any 20 something year old, she typed a few words into Google. How do I find my twin flame? I mean, that's really the beginning of all of this. And that was when she was exposed to Jeff, and I can't pronounce Shalea's last name, so I'm just going to say Shakray Cray, like the other woman from the previous podcast called her. And her brother, Cheryl made reference to this. Briana was in her 20s, living in away from us in an apartment with her brother and a bunch of friends, living life. And her brother had come to us and said, hey, I think something's going on. Brianna's really in her room, really into this thing. And we were like, yeah, right. Okay, brother and sisters never get along, always, tattling. And it wasn't until we went on a vacation and we were on the beach. I'll never forget this. We were on the beach and this woman was next to us and she was annoying as hell. She was yelling at her kids and she took her towel and she shook it and the sand went on us. And I was like, what the heck? Like I was angry. And Briana said, oh, Aunty, no, you have no reason to be angry at her. I need to teach you the mirror exercise. And I said, the what? And it was all of us were there, all of the kids. And I said, the mirror exercise. She said, yes, it really has helped me so much. And she talked to me about, you look in the mirror and you say, instead of saying, I'm mad at that woman who just did this on the beach, you turn that around to, I'm mad at me. So now I'm irritated. I'm like, I'm now mad at the woman and I'm irritated with Briana. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And she's like, no, this is what Twin Flames does. It helps you work through these things. So if you're mad at yourself, Twin Flames will then help you dissolve that anger and you become a much more peaceful. And I was like, okay, this is a little weird. So the next day,
so whenever you talk about the mirror exercise, you're just like me. As soon as I mention it or someone mentions it to me, I have a visceral reaction of like, oh, please. I mean, and I'm sure there's people out there that practice it and it works. But the way that we've been exposed to it, it's very negative to us. It's sort of like a friend of mine was saying, it sounds a lot like Catholic guilt, the mirror exercise. Like just blame yourself for everything.
You know what? That is exactly how
I have the same reaction when someone talks about it, but it's only because we associate it with a cult. And I love how you introduced Briana. We're going to talk about this some more because I get really defensive. People assume, well, if you get sucked into a cult, you're weak, you're stupid, you're autistic, you're all these things. And no, she was completely, and that's what we want to drive home. She would not. She's you. She's everyone out there.
She's you.
Yes. Go ahead.
Professional, high paying position. So I decided the next day, I really didn't like that mirror exercise comment. So I decided I'm going to take her to lunch. I'm going to take her to a lunch. And my daughter came and I said, tell me more about this Twin Flames. And she was describing the mind alignment process, the map, and how it's really helped her because you go back in your childhood or you go back and experience a trauma that you've had. And I said, Briana, what trauma have you had? And she's like, no, Aunty, it has helped me so much. And I was like, I looked her right in the eyes and I grabbed her hands. I'll never forget it. She was across me. I grabbed her hands and I said, honey, if this is a cult, I'm coming after them and I'm getting you out. And I was half kidding because I really had no idea at this point that my perception is that it really is a cult. And so we left that and she talked to me about the mind alignment. And that's when I got, okay, there's something going on. That's mind control. What they do is they say, okay, you had this trauma, and they will invent the trauma if it's not there. If the person the member can't recall a trauma. And I'll right now, or the latest, not right now, but a while ago, the trauma went back to our ancestors. So here is how they suck you in. They do this mirror exercise so that it's always you to blame, so that they can help you. There's something wrong with you, we will help you. And then the mind alignment process. I mean, I remember days where she would say, I have to do with mind alignment process again. I have to keep doing it. And they will keep creating the trauma so that you keep paying for the courses for them to heal you. It is mind control. When reflecting back, I wish I had said at lunch, instead of I'll come get you if this is a cult, I wish I had said, you know what? I want to join this twin flames. I want to understand it more. But I thought it was a fad. I really did. I thought that it was the latest, greatest fast food diet thing,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that it would just dissolve itself.
So when I was interviewed by Shizzy Wisnut and Mo in the Deep last Saturday, and they asked me, what would you do differently if you looking back? And I said, I would join the cult. It never dawned on me, because don't forget, at this point, she's in her 20s. So, I mean, we can look back now and think early 20s is still young because of what we've seen in life, but it's an adult. So we also are giving her space to do her own thing. And you don't want to be right, right,
things.
right.
Yeah, so that was when I first said, oh boy, something doesn't sound right with this.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't scared. I still wasn't like, and that's when you started sleuthing and figuring things out. And when I first saw Jeff and Shakray, I was like, oh, they're just a couple of losers. They have nothing. We saw them on the beaches.
We weren't impressed. We weren't impressed. Yeah. And we weren't scared of them. We were just like, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. And it's been quite the journey, because it went from that until, her getting more and more involved and pulling away. And I remember after the lunch, Madison had said to me, wow, Mom, that's weird. And I said, yeah, but you know what? You do weird things too. Like, everyone's got to figure out their own path. And, we'll just see how this plays out. The thing that we had, and I'm always grateful for, is our family. Like, we were always communicating. We were always in it together. And as you've made reference to, Cheryl, on multiple occasions, Lynn is, well, maybe I'm not supposed to say her name, but our sister, the mom, is, she's the strongest person I know. And she just handled this.
I know. We've been consulted. Well, we consulted with people, and we've been told, like, don't dox yourself, don't, because they're crazy people and they might come after you. But we're in a documentary, so our names are already out there. So it's hard, but we're trying to be careful with that. Where is, I don't see your name up here. That's funny. Just looking. Don't mind me. At the same time, I'm just trying to figure out the chat. I can't see the chat. So can you see the chat, Lisa? During every show, I do a little bit of learning about this StreamYard. So,
I see something under your name. It says, hi there. Hit here.
Okay, I can see it now. There was an error. Now I see. Okay. I wasn't able to get to the chat. Okay, sorry about that. As I'm learning as we go, people be patient. So so that was the first red flag that you had. What was I know I probably know what it is, but what was the stop in your track and, like, this is wrong moment? Like, not just a red flag, but like.
Yeah, so it's been a process, right? It was little things that, at the time we're like, huh. It was when COVID hit, and we got the call from our sister saying, Briana's at the airport. She is flying across the country. She is meeting Gretchen. And, well, let me back up one other minute. I mean, I want to emphasize Briana had normal boyfriends the whole bit through high school, through college. But there was one boy that she really liked a lot, and I think it broke her heart, just like we've all been through that. And when she joined Twin Flames, they harped on this person, and they said, "Oh yeah, he's your twin flame," and they encouraged her to send him the twin flame book and to reach out to him and get him to join the cult. And we were like, and he wanted no part of it. And we were like, "No, Brianna, no, he's giving you all the signals." She's like, "No, he just doesn't realize it, and it's my job to make him realize it. Twin Flames is helping me to educate him." And I was like, "That is not how relationships work."
Yeah.
And so you began to investigate, and we uncovered some stuff. But the stop in my tracks moment was when Lynn called us and said Brianna's on her way to California for Gretchen, and we were like, "What?" And I called her, and it was the pandemic. I'm like, "Honey, no one is traveling. It is dangerous. Forget Twin Flames. Forget everything. You should not be in the airport right now. Come home. Let's just talk about this." And she's like, they had a vision. They had a dream. They had a vision. And they called us, and they were so excited to say, of course, it wasn't this previous relationship, that it was clear that it was Gretchen. And that's when, our sister was like, "Okay, so are you telling me you're a lesbian?" And she's like, "No, Gretchen is in a man's body. That's what came through to Jeff and Cray Cray. And Gretchen agrees, and she's going to go through this process." And I was like, "What?" And I just thought the whole world was going crazy. It was COVID, shut down, don't go anywhere.
You can't say that word on YouTube, probably. You don't know that, but you can't say pandemic. You can't say the C word. I don't know why. That's just what they told me. Anyway.
C word, to me, it's not COVID. Okay.
It is in YouTube world. Lisa's learning YouTube. By the way, this is so funny. Scott must have his phone, or your husband, sorry, must have his phone in there, or you must, because it's dinging when a text goes off. Do you hear it? Like it dings.
I do hear the dings, but my phone's not here and his phone's not here.
Oh,
so
that is so funny. It's something on his. No, that's okay. It's Lisa. If you know Lisa, to know Lisa,
it's taking on Cheryl's side, and she's blaming me. Let's just be clear.
It's true. It's true.
But I hear. So that's when I was like, "Oh, okay."
And to be perfectly clear, this isn't about whether Briana was a lesbian or not. We would have supported her wholeheartedly. But this shit is crazy. Telling people that that they're a different masculinity form, and they have to change their, who they are because they have a vision, or they tell you that. That's the part that we were just like, I didn't even know that could happen. I didn't know that was going on. And once I heard that, it was so easy to dig up the rest of it.
Well, and that's when you did such a good job of.
Maddie, I know it's your dad's MacBook tech notifications. I didn't want to tell her that, because then she'll have no idea how to.
I have no idea.
No. So that's okay.
So that's when it was all hands on deck. Okay, we need to get a handle on this. And the more we uncovered, the crazier it got. It just was like, are you kidding me? And it's such a scheme, again, my opinion, because they were like, okay, our population is 80% female, and I'm making these numbers up, 80% female, but it's a high percentage of females in Twin Flames. We're promising Twin Flames. We're now getting, especially with the pandemic, and people couldn't go out, and they were looking for social connectivity. Their membership spiked, and they were like, "Well, how can we connect people up?" Well, we can't. They're not open to the idea of maybe being lesbian, but how about we convert to males? And it was like, what is going on?
What
Like,
is going on? Yeah. What are you thinking? How did this impact your kids? Because all of our kids, so again, I've said this in a previous reel, but we have 11 nieces and nephews amongst us. Two of them, nine of us live in the same town. Two of them are not far from us. So nine of our kids went through the same school district, very close. How did it impact your kids' life? Like watching what was going on with Brianna?
so I think initially there was confusion, like, what is this? And then it was, they were scared. And then she would talk to them about, much more open with them about twin flames. And she would say some weird stuff. Like, trying to remember what she
Oh,
said.
go talk about the trauma because I interrupted you, but that's related to your girls too. When she would talk about um, ancestry and the trauma that, yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
interrupted you. Sorry.
no, that's okay. Yeah, honey, I'm used to it. So, the latest trauma with the MAP mind alignment process was it went back to our ancestors and there was trouble within the family. I honestly didn't get all the details, but it just showed me how you went from your childhood, like they just will keep making it. They will string it along because you constantly have to buy more courses. And oh, look at it's a breakthrough. We found this. Let's explore that. And then there's more trauma. And it's a money train. It really is for these folks. And that's what we found out. We were looking at the videos of Jeff and Shakray, and they live in this mansion. Oh, I remember Briana. I was talking to her, and she said um, she was at a security company. She was a security analyst, and she said, "Auntie, I just got a big, huge bonus." And I said, "Oh, that's awesome! I'm so proud of you. She's in sales, like Cheryl and I, and secure cyber." And she said, "But I really want to invest in this program, and it doesn't cover it at Twin Flames." And I said, and it was like a 10 grand bonus. I'm like, what? And she explained to me, but I don't have to, I bought the program anyways, and I'm so excited because I'm going to become one of their coaches. They've identified me as one of their golden girls, and they want me to be more involved in the program. And I said, well, how are you going to pay for the program? And she said, I don't have to worry about it, Auntie. I don't have to worry about it. Jeff and Shakray say, money will come to you. It will manifest itself. It will work out. So pay us, and then we will help you with it. And I'm like, oh boy, so now it went from they're crazy, I don't like this, but they're fraudulent. Like this,
Right. The different journeys of how we felt. So hi, Zach. Zach's watching us. He says, hi, Cyber Chicken. Lynn, oh, sorry, my sister, Brianna's mom. I won't say her name again, but I did. You could talk about this, Lynn, when I have you on, because she knows more about the trauma. Because I was going to say your name. Pizza's right. When you say when you don't have trauma in your childhood, they can just make it up and insert it and make you believe it. And Zach's adopting us, so he's calling us Aunty, which fine, Zach. We have so many people, we won't even notice. And Nikki, right, all of your concern came from love. You were just really concerned, and also freaked out because when she would get alone with the cousins, she was not her normal self. She was into, the cult and not trying to convert anyone, but I think just trying to teach people how she felt and why, to convince them, like, this is normal. Look, this is normal. This is why I'm doing it. And people would be like, that's not normal. Like that. That's crazy.
Do you remember we were on vacation? We were in the car. We picked her up to go to the beach, and we said, "Oh, hi. How was your night?" She was staying at a Airbnb, and she said, "Oh, I was up all night." And we said, "Why?" And she said, "Oh, the cats." And you said to her, "Oh,
I didn't know you had cats in the house."
You had cats in the house. And she said, Oh, no, I don't. They came to me.
Yeah, the cats, yeah, yeah, there would be weird moments like that. And even the fact that she was staying in an Airbnb on her own and not with the group of us, that was her pulling away.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
her pulling away.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah. So let's talk about, um, I want to talk about how you felt. So what's interesting about doing this channel is, well, we did the documentary. And then we were quiet because that was a big deal for us. And we give Lynn, her mother, so much credit for deciding to do it. And we're going to do a show on what that was like because, oh my gosh, being in the documentary was so new to us. I'm surprised they haven't called us back. We were phenomenal. But, but but then we were quiet because we had to be really careful. Briana was in a cult. We didn't want her getting hurt. We didn't want, the exposure. And then so we were quiet. But so and then now she's out, so we felt comfortable talking about it. I've had personally a lot of different stages of anger towards Twin Flames Universe over 7 years, and some of it I forgot. Like going back through my notes, my emails, all of the things that we did, some of it is just forgotten about or tucked deep inside. And how did you feel, and how do you feel today about Twin Flames Universe, and how did you feel along the way? Because I have a lot of feelings.
Can you swear on YouTube?
Yeah, you can swear. You just can't say the C word about the pandemic.
Okay. I'm fucking angry. I am so angry. I'm angry that there are these parasites out there that can put together a program and a narrative that obviously relates to a lot of young people, and that they can make millions and millions and completely impact their lives and change the course, the trajectory of their lives. And based on what they believe, Jeff and Cray Cray, not based on what's best for the person. And so even to this day, I am very angry that we live in a country that is allowed. And I'm hopeful with the Attorney General and the investigation that is supposedly going on. But I'm angry. I'm angry because it's broken up families. It's changed so many lives, and they just keep getting richer. And they're obnoxious about it. Look at my Louis Vuitton bag. Look at my Chanel. I mean, they are blatant. And their thing is, you can have all this too. Just keep subscribing to us. And I think it was a wake-up call. It certainly was for me, that wow, you can put anything out on the internet. Anything. It's not policed. And so that's what compelled us to do the documentary, and to do this, what you're doing, Cheryl. And I applaud you for doing it, because we need to make people aware. I mean, everyone says, "Oh, I never thought it could happen to us." I never, ever expected something.
100%, Lisa. I have a comment on that. But Jenny Lou, are you the Jenny Lou that I know that I used to exercise with in Pepperell? I think you are. If you're not, you look just like her. Sorry, I'm so distracted by the chat, but I swear I'm listening to you as well.
It's par for the course.
I know I can multitask. So I'm not angry anymore. I won't give them my feelings. I was so angry. I mean, I was like all over their Facebook, all over their Instagram. I would be I wanted to harm them. I wanted to harm their business. I really did. I maybe it's because Briana's doing so well, and Briana's in such a good place now that I don't think about it as much. I want to see him arrested. I'm doing this. I want to help families. There are other people out there. I want to show you a Reddit article that was front page yesterday. There are other people that are focused on this as well, and that are involved, that are going through this, and I want to save them. I want to save them. I want to protect them. I just got distracted. So this is really funny. I'm going to switch gears. Jenny, so I thought you were a person that I knew because you look exactly like her. And I sent her an Instagram message thanking her for coming on the show and blah, blah. And she ignored me. I'm like, why is she ignoring me? Well, it wasn't her. You're in Louisiana. So that's hysterical. You look just like her. You're gorgeous. So,
Oh, that's so
and
fun.
yes, everyone, Wicked Racing Esports got us going with the internet, got us going. And he had 30 seconds to do it. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Appreciate
funny. So yeah, we appreciate you for doing that. But so yeah, I don't, I used to get so mad because they would also have these conferences. They've had a few of them, a couple in Toronto, and the members would pay a lot of money and go to these conferences and then pay money for pitches with them. And the whole time I'm scrolling Instagram, watching them gut a house and redo it with marble and just spending gobs of money. And it would eat up an awful lot of my energy. I don't give it to them anymore, but gosh, I'd love to see them prosecuted. I really would.
I'd love to see them pay for
Hi,
what they've done. I mean, it's in my mind, it's criminal, and I don't want other people to have to go through this.
We don't. Here, let me pull up the article. This is where I have to like ruin a good thing because we're both doing really well here. So I'm going to pull up an article and see.
Oh, I think that's a compliment. Cheryl never gives me a compliment. Thank you, honey.
You're doing great. You're doing great. So I don't know. This looks really. It doesn't look clear on my screen, but bye, Zach. Thank you for coming. So this was on the Reddit front page yesterday, and thank you to my friend Ann for sharing this with me. And I was so happy to see it because it means that they're still getting recognition. When you're involved in this, it's hard to know what are we dealing with here. Is this just some small little cult? But I've been contacted by people who are like, this is significant. This is huge. This is the next digital Jonestown. Yeah. This is going to be big. They are going to be prosecuted. They're doing horrible things out there. And this has 11,000, I don't know what that is, arrows. So views, I guess, 11,000 things, 400 comments. Of course, I keep going on here and saying, come to my channel, because people were like, what happened with the families in the documentary? There's a lot of feelings in these comments. And to Pete's point earlier, the comments aren't always nice about how are people sucked into this. They should know better. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me, can you see the comments if I scroll? I don't know what I'm doing, but
no, we can see.
So,
and just to add to that, Cheryl, we had no idea what we were dealing with. So when I said all hands on deck, it was Cheryl doing the sleuthing, my niece's mom getting books that folks that have been through cults like this and how they get programmed from a mind perspective.
Yeah.
And then how it's not just a flip of a switch, how they get out. You have to, it's just a long, long process. And so we learned a lot. And that's what I would encourage anybody that's going through this is to, and again, I want to emphasize, my niece's mom just always kept the door open, always with her daughter, and was supportive and listened, didn't agree, but listened, and then let us be kind of bad cop, good cop with my niece. And the question I have is, how many more of these types of cults are out there? I mean, people just have to be aware.
I know. Look at that. I did a blue banner. Doesn't that look good? Oh, sorry. I'm playing with my... yeah, you're right. And you're right. Our CT sister who's saying, and I don't know if that stands for Cheryl too. Oh, I'm not supposed to say my name. I just dox myself. Every episode I dox myself. Oh, I'll go back and edit that out. So everyone is vulnerable at one point, but the problem is I'm afraid that if I wasn't involved in the cult, I may be judgy too and say, how'd you get sucked in? Like, how'd you get sucked into a cult? So now I'm much more gracious. And I say, I feel so bad for your family that is going through that. And anyone out there at any time, if you are going through that, my email is in the show notes. I would pin it let me see. I don't know how to pin, but maybe I can. Put user in timeout. Zach, if you didn't leave, I put you in a timeout. That sounds fun. I don't know how to pin a message, but I'll learn how to pin a message, and then I'll pin it at the top. But my email's in the show notes. If you go to my channel under description, and if you are in a twin flame, or your family members are involved and you want some support, I always say the people that were in it before me really supported the hell out of our family. So it takes a village. And I look forward to we're going to have Briana's mother on. We're also going to have other cult members on who unfortunately are still in it. They're living a nightmare. It's a living hell right now, what's going on with those people. And that's what, I don't know, how do we spread more awareness? It's not like they teach this in school, right? I mean, I'm trying to do what I can do. We've got 13 people watching it live, and then I have like 400 to 500 views on every video, which is fantastic. But how do we get the word out there? What do we do?
My ask would be for everybody on the call or anybody that views this, just tell people, make them aware. This is real. This isn't, I wish it was made up, but it is real, and it's something we went through. And the only way we're going to address it is to make people aware of it and to call these folks out and try to grab their asses and get them in jail, because it is what they're doing is just disrupting families. It is disrupting families.
How do you feel now with Briana being out? Like how do you process that?
I'd say cautiously hopeful.
Yeah.
I've seen glimpses of the old Briana, and I am thrilled. Seeing her smile again. One of the things the past 7 years, she didn't sing. She did not sing. And I think when I'll know she's fully back when she starts singing again. I think that she is processing it and going through lots of things. So I would say cautiously hopeful.
I love that.
How do you feel?
I feel the same way. I feel more positive today than ever in the 7-year journey because of how she's just come back to us in her authentic self.
Yeah.
So I feel really happy about that. Thrilled about it. I feel sad that we've missed time with her, and I feel sad for her that she went through it. This takes a toll on you mentally, and we've seen that. Just your mental health. They play with you. They control you. It's never a good thing. Jenny Lou 22, you are right. Everyone. Hit the like button. I never say that. I don't think I've ever said that once because I'm such a newbie to this, but share the video. I don't care about, I'm not a content creator. We have day jobs and we're really, really busy, but share this video. Everyone who watches it, if you can share it, that would be great because we just want to get the word out. We're going to continue to do this. I thank you so much, Lisa, for joining. Do you have anything else that you want to add, or we can talk about anything? We don't, eventually we're going to do this and we're going to just have like a pitch night or something and not talk about cults. You can see the true family.
For those of you who don't know, pitch is a card game that Cheryl is a bit competitive in. I would say I have microphone envy. I don't have a microphone like you
do. Scott has one. He has one somewhere. You say that now, but what'd you say about my microphone yesterday? Okay, but she was mad at me because I called her my filler. I said, "Come do a Friday lunch with me. You can." And you know what? We're going to do this every Friday at lunchtime because you're my Friday filler. And she goes,
I am not a filler. I am prime time. I am a star. I am not anyone's filler. She goes, "I couldn't get anyone else. Can you fill in? You're a filler."
You're a filler.
What the hell is that? No, I'm not a filler.
And she has my envy. She said.
Oh I do.
So funny. Well, thank you, honey. This was great. We're going to do this again with everyone in the family that wants to come in and tell their story. We're going to continue to do this forever until we see justice.
Yes.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Bye, everybody.